Tuned into Ekse right here in Cape Town TV, the best entertainment show in the land. We are live Mondays to Fridays, 4 to 5 p.m. Of course, with the repeats every morning between 8 and 9. If you've missed the show and of course the repeats, we are of course on YouTube as guys Margo Ekse on Cape Town TV. Well, right about now we are talking about women who are doing incredible things when it comes to science and technology. Now, Mklanjeke is no different. We are joined by the incredible Miss Tango. Adonis is in the building, everybody. Whoop, whoop.
Thank you so much.
You are an incredible person. You are an incredible, young, smart woman who's absolutely leading and paving the way for so many young girls out there. How does it feel to be in that position?
For the longest time, I think, especially growing up, you know, we grow up reading fairy tales about how we see all these princesses, and the storyline always ends with the princess falls in love and she ends up in the castle. And I was just that person that was, but why would I want to be a princess in someone else's castle when I can be a queen of my own empire, you know? And I was like, no, it's time to demand spaces. It's time to take up space. And especially in the scientific, technology, engineering, and mathematics fields, you know, these are spaces that were designed for men, to benefit men, and only for men. And when women, those that came before me, started shattering those glass ceilings, I was completely inspired. And it's at that point when I knew it's no longer just about me being inspired by them, but I had to take up that challenge and become all that I could, because I need to inspire the many that's going to follow me.
Yeah, absolutely. You are an inspiration, and I'm sure there's so many girls who would love to be in your position and actually also pave a way for other women. Why do you think it is that there are few women when it comes to maths, science, technology?
Besides a lot of our young, especially girls, still really being caught up in remote areas and not having access to the kind of information that will allow them to enter this space. But I think just, you know, society has put so much pressure on women, and especially young girls. Like I said, you grow up and you're taught you got to become a wife, you got to become a mother. You got to fulfill the motherly and wifely duties, domestic duties actually, to put it bluntly. And it took a really long time, especially with the past oppression also of women, that played a major role on where women are today and the spaces that they take up. But it's taken a long time for women to realize that, but I can also do it, even though there's still a huge inequality in terms of payment, you know, when you versus the gender of it, and just how you treat the whole situation when you look at female and male. But the point is that women, there is a movement of women that's already began to take up spaces, and that alone is completely magical and phenomenal. And like I said, it's not just about inspiring yourself and growing yourself, but it's about paving a way and leaving this footprints for many young girls to follow in.
Absolutely. You are a scientific technician. What is it? What does a scientific technician do, and how does another young girl get to be a scientific technician?
So I studied environmental management, where I got my Bachelor's of Technology from Cape Peninsula University. I then went on to being a registered professional scientist with the South African National Council for Professionals in the scientific space. I've been working for over 7 years in the water sector. And specifically what a scientific technician does is that at the department we have this mandate to ensure that we protect water resources and we ensure the access and availability of water. So in my position, what I do is I manage and monitor the 25 local municipalities across the Western Cape in terms of their water availability, as well as their water conservation, water demand management implementation. So I basically ensure that all municipalities are doing whatever they can in terms of regulations to ensure that people not only has access to water, but when we look at the demand versus the supply of water, we ensure that long term we will be able to prolong the access of water to all people.
Absolutely. It sounds like a very it's a beautiful title to have, but it comes with a lot of responsibility. I can see you have a lot of achievements under your belt, Miss South Africa Ambassador 2019-2020, and of course now you recently won an award at the Womandla Awards. Tell us about this award that you recently won.
I'm still processing when it comes to that award because it happened on Saturday. But the Humandla Foundation is an African global movement that has began to not only celebrate but once again promote the importance of women in the spaces of the STEM, which stands for science, technology, engineering, arts and maths fields. And obviously there are young women across these sectors that has been nominated for the different, there are 7 categories. And then once you are nominated, a panel of judges on Humandla side, they sit and they obviously assess the applications and then they shortlist those nominees. The nominees were invited to the award ceremony on Saturday, and like I said, I'm still in shock, but I did win the Humandla STEAM Award in the arts category for 2021.
What does it mean to you?
For me, honestly, I think it's just, I'm so busy. Besides having a 9-to-5 job, I run an NGO called Visions of Change, which focuses on environmental protection and the promotion of sustainable development goals through the empowerment of our youth. So I work in a lot of communities, and my focus is always, our vulnerable communities, for once again, kids that don't have access to information and just access to resources in general. And then I get so caught up in my campaigns because I always say that I love being out there, I love doing the work that I do. And these accomplishments and these types of recognitions reminds you to really stand still and take a minute and reflect and be like, I've made a difference. I've made an impact, not maybe in 1 million children's lives, but there's that one child, or there's 10 children that I got to touch this year by the campaigns that I've done. So just the recognition, I mean, I've stood on Saturday, I was in awe with the amazing, phenomenal women that I stood alongside, all doing really incredible work in order to promote and empower young girls. So for me, to not only have been nominated and stand alongside them, but to actually be recognized as the person that walks away with that title, if you could put it like that, just reminds you to keep going. The work that I do, especially on the NGO side, there are days when I don't want to get out of bed. I'm tired. Social media bullying is such a huge aspect right now. And there are times when I feel like, I don't want to do this anymore. But then I'm remembered of Zoe Prinsloo, one of the girls that tells me all the time how inspired she is by what I do. I think of all the little girls and all the little boys that I get to work with, and that is my reminder to keep going.
Well, definitely, we would love you to keep going. There's so many girls who look up to you, and of course, we as a nation look up to women like you, absolutely taking up space and changing this country and of course this world. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
It was an honor having you on the show.
Good way to end of Women's Month.
Absolutely, good way to end of Women's Month. We're going to take a quick breather, more to come right on Ekse straight after this.
CTV family.